Hello, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to Purple Haze Podcast. I am your lovely host, Isaac here. So, the Vikings will be taking on the San Francisco 49ers at US Bank Stadium on Monday Night Football. So, we'll see how this one goes, really. It's basically a season determining game right here, basically for me anyways. As for me, as far as if the season is going to go well. If they actually win this game, then I don't think their season's not over. But if they do, I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. Just for a very good reason of my own. But anyways, let's go ahead and break down. Let's see the Vikings on offense. Let's take a look at the 49ers defense. Now, they are obviously one of the best defenses ever. They've been a top defense for goodness, the past 5 years. They've been a top at least top 5 defense at least. So they're a very tough team as far as some good players. Nick Bosa, he's basically on the edge. Fred Warner, a linebacker. Greenlaw is going to be injured. I don't know who their replacement is. Fred Warner, he's absolutely a missile up the middle. They like to use, Kyle Shanahan loves to use him, especially rushing up the middle. As far as their secondary, Jaquiski Tart, he's basically absolutely one of the best ever. So I feel like it's going to absolutely be a tough time for the offense to get going. But you're going to have to find some way to scheme up something against this 49ers defense because they're no doubt going to bring the heat nonstop. So if you can at least put up 20 points in this game, you basically have a chance to win if you can at least do that. So as far as I'm concerned, of course, you can't handle the ball if you got to hang on to the ball because the Vikings are dropping the ball at a historical rate, and that is not okay. So I think the Vikings need to hang on to the ball if they can, avoid those mistakes and stop the killing of drives, then you basically you're giving yourself a better chance to win. And then secondly, if listen, Kirk Cousins is gonna have to get out of his own shell and instead make sure he's basically the captain of this offense. He's gonna need to do something. The play calling's irrelevant for him sometimes, but he needs to step up bottom line or it's Jaren Hall time for me. He basically showed through the first 6 games that he can't be a leader. Okay, a couple games was not his fault, but some other games where he could have done something more better, that's on him. So, as far as I'm concerned, the offensive line, they already got Dalton Reisner on one play, so I feel like offensive line is still going to have a rough go because Ezra Cleveland is out. But that doesn't matter because you can still bench Ed Ingram, nonetheless, for Blake Brandel, who can play out there. Because I trust Blake Brandel over Ed Ingram, and that's the truth. So, the play action pass might work. I don't know. As far as the Cleveland Browns and San Francisco 49ers game went, I feel like that might work more than basically screen passes because the 49ers front 7 is very, very strong. And I think maybe one of their weaknesses could be somewhere in the secondary. So I say you attack deep and you might be okay. And that is up to Kevin O'Connell if he will do so. As far as the Vikings defense, there are 3 key injuries for the San Francisco 49ers right now that did not participate in practice on Wednesday. That's Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, and Trent Williams. So these guys are basically very reason why I say that is because they are very significant in the 49ers offense. So, I mean, if I do not know if they're going to be, but you still have to be ready for them. I mean, you're not really going to limit, but you have to at least try to limit Christian McCaffrey and don't let him get out of your head. So, as far as like Brock Purdy, I mean, he's a very solid quarterback. He had his bad game against the Cleveland Browns. That's because he was under duress the whole game. I mean, if you can, and basically the receivers, I mean, as besides Debo Samuel, Jawan Jennings, and Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle, they're still solid wide receivers that can still make plays despite like a KJ Osborne or Jordan Addison. They can still make plays, so it's definitely be tough in the passing game. But the 49ers, what did they do? They got after the quarterback several times, and it absolutely worked. So you should be able to get after him with four-man or maybe so the 49ers or let's see. So I mean, I believe that the Vikings are really going to have a tough time though on defense. So I mean, the Browns, they did a good job. So Brian Flores should absolutely cook up something. If Christian McCaffrey, because Christian McCaffrey is one of the best running backs ever, no questions asked. So I expect the Vikings, if Christian McCaffrey's not there, then I expect the Vikings to get after Brock Purdy as far as I'm concerned. So we will see how it goes. So as far as the defensive side, I mean, the secondary is going to absolutely be a tough thing to watch. So you just got to make plays up front and let the secondary make plays or clean up plays after that, after the forefront. So we will see how it goes. It's going to be an absolute tough game. And reason why I said this is going to determine their season is if they lose this game, then you can't beat a team over 500. Then that tells me everything that if you make the playoffs, you're literally not going to win at all. So there's no point really in wasting time or anything. If you make the playoffs, that's fine by me, but let's be real. They're not going to win. They're just going to be one and done if they can't win a team over 500. So, but if they can win this game, then I say you have a shot to at least win one playoff game and go to the playoffs. I say you do. So we will see how it goes. So I don't know, man. I think the Vikings, I think they will fall short of the 49ers. Um basically, I mean, I'm going to go with I say they lose 17-20 to the San Francisco 49ers. I say they do lose. The first time I've ever done that before, but if they do lose, I'm going to keep that same energy basically. I'm not going to act surprised really or anything, but we will see how it goes. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Oh yeah, by the way, also, I will be doing a recap video on Tuesday. I'll do an extra video on Thursday, and then Friday will be the preview for the Packers game. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Skol.